Remember this video?
Shut that. Shut the door. Shut the door. Shut the door. Shut the door. Here. Shut the door. He's gonna get you if you don't.
Let's talk about it.
You are here because the outside world rejects you.
Let's do it.
So in the comment section of his video, a lot of people told him that that enclosure was too small for the snake. And that's where we got this comment that has now since been deleted, and my comment to him asking him to show us the original closure that the animal lives in. Not this feeding one, but the original closure. The one that it's more permanently in. And then I made the video response, which you see as a short on the YouTube channel here and on my TikTok, where I already kind of alluded that he was lying by the fact that he had a water dish in his enclosure, which has also been deleted. That comment has been deleted. Now, he does have this pinned comment now underneath the video that says, "Thank you all for the interest on this video. Lots of great questions. We'll plan to do a follow-up video to answer some of the more common questions." And then someone asked for an update, and this is what he said: limited on time. And then another reply was, I posted that there is a picture on Instagram story for those interested. We'll post video following the next few weeks. So with that comment as a general statement to invite people to go check out his Instagram to see the plight of his snake and the enclosure that it is in, I went ahead to go look at it. Now, if you don't know, Instagram stories only last for 24 hours, but this comment was posted a day ago, so potentially the post would still be there for me to be able to see. And this is what I found, or didn't find. So as you can see, there was no post on the snake's living conditions. I honestly believe that he was just lying, because he also said he had limited time, that he couldn't do a video. That's what he said in his TikTok and one of the other comments that I've shown. So he has limited time. He takes only a photo and puts it in an Instagram story, which will be gone in 24 hours. But on his TikTok, he has posted 4 more videos since, and they all are like picture slide videos and things like that. So I don't believe him. I don't believe that the snake has a secondary and that it has a legit enclosure beyond what we've seen it in. And the comment where he ends it, that he's going to post a video in the next few weeks to show us when he has time. I believe what he needs time for is to go collect the materials to put the animal in the appropriate size enclosure. I think that's really what he needs time for, because otherwise you did a TikTok which is photo slides, but you can't post one photo, make a TikTok with one photo to show the snake and its enclosure. It's proper enclosure for a snake of that size that's being properly cared for. Yeah, I call BS. I think you're lying. Okay, so let's talk about all that is wrong with this environment that they have set up for this poor snake. As you can see from the photo here, there's a bunch of poop in the bottom of this enclosure. It definitely, from my experience, looks like that's more than just one bowel movement, especially if you look at the size of the rat that they're feeding it. This definitely is more than one bowel movement. The snake does not have the ability to get away from that mess, so therefore it's going to be crawling in it, which is unhealthy for the snake, unhealthy for anybody who touches that snake, because it's going to be on this. It's just bad. You shouldn't even have to say it, but that's bad. Secondly, before you feed, you should have cleaned that. You know, if this was just a temporary thing that you feed it in, why isn't it clean? It should be pristine. The other issue I have, it's kind of like a pet peeve, not really a real bad, but the water dish. The water dish proves that it's not a temporary enclosure just for feeding. However, as big as that snake is and as little as that water dish is, as you can see it, the way it's trying to get that rat, my opinion, I'd take that water dish out. Even if it was in a larger enclosure like it's supposed to be, more often than not, they're gonna knock the water dish over. They're gonna make a mess. What I like to do is take the water dish out, feed the snake. Once they've consumed their meal, then I put the water dish back in, because I've seen them knock them over. Even my little corn snakes, they knock them over. But that's kind of more of just a little pet peeve of my own. Again, the enclosure is way too small. The snake has probably half of its body still on the ground, even when it's reaching the top of the enclosure. So this cage is absolutely wrong. Something else I noticed, and I don't know if anybody has pointed this out, but it doesn't really matter. So I took a still shot of the video right here, and you can see that clearly the snake is having some shedding issues. Not surprised. There isn't much room for it to move around in this enclosure, and there isn't really anything for it to rub up against to help peel that skin off. It could lead to more problems if that snake can't get the shed off. But as wet as the fecal material looks, I think the humidity is fine. I think it's just lacking in the ability to rub on something that can take it off. So, that's a concerning issue, is that snake not being able to shed properly. I'm hoping, of course we can't tell from the video, that doesn't have anything on its eyes. That's a real bad problem area. But again, that's just more of speculation. I can't tell from the video if that, but we definitely have a shedding issue for this poor animal. Okay, so let's talk about the feeding of this snake. The biggest problem is 2 inexperienced people trying to feed this animal. That is the biggest problem with this whole clip, is the inexperience. Also looks like the prey item is too small, relatively too small, and that could be why they're getting such a strong feeding response, because that's a feeding response. The snake isn't defending itself, it's trying to eat, it's hungry. So this could be the explanation why the snake is acting this way, because it's underfed. Body weight looks pretty decent from what I can tell, but the rat that's being presented in this video is definitely too small for this size of snake, and that's part of the reason you're getting this strong feeding response. I believe that. The other problem is the lack of proper equipment. For a snake that size, you should definitely be having some type of feeding tongs. The other problem is, when you look at the video, there is other cages. Hopefully there's other animals in them. They look pretty sparse, but there is wood shavings in them, so potentially something was in them. But all that is stacked in front of it, so you just have obstacles in your way to properly engage this animal, in case things go wrong, like it shows in the video. That's why I think why a kid is having trouble shutting the doors, is because he's leaning over that stuff that's on the floor in front of this cage. That's a problem. They really should have a snake hook handy for situations like this, because now when that video ends, we see the snake is hanging out of the enclosure. Its mind is all on food. You can't use your hands. Your warm hand, this is how you get bit. You're going to get bit. The animal is in hunting mode, as far as you just presented it a rat, totally missed it, and that's what he wants. If you had a snake hook or similar equipment, you could start working with that animal, but again, your enclosure is way too small, so even if you get the snake back in, you're still within strike zone just to get the rat to it. Like, there's just so much wrong about this video, and I hope that this gentleman and this minor learn a lot from this. The interaction people are trying to give them, there is a lot of trying to give positive instruction on how this animal should be cared for. he's deleting the comments. That's unfortunate. Missed opportunities to learn. Sometimes pride gets in the way. I don't know. Looking at his videos, he's definitely in love with himself, but that's not for me to judge. But anyways, so I hope that what I really want to share about this video is, we need to make certain that these animals go to the appropriate people, and that the people who have them are capable of keeping them appropriately and respectfully. Because I don't think this guy really gives two shits about the animal, to be completely honest. If you look at his other photos, his other videos, and his photos on Instagram, he's a farmer, a ranch hand. I don't know. He's a cowboy in Texas. I don't know. So if snakes get banned, he doesn't give two shits. He doesn't care that the image he's putting out there makes all of us look bad, even those of us that are responsible keepers. He doesn't care. The animal gets banned. It's just one less animal, that he can, stun his friends with. It's that whole, like, I got a big snake, cool factor. That he doesn't care. He'll just go on to the next animal and ruin it for those people. So that's my biggest gripe with this, is the living conditions of that animal and the negativity it projects on the hobby of us who are actually responsible keepers. So I hope somebody watches this and learns something from it, and because this is the beginning of legislation. This is what the beginning of legislation looks like right here. People like this, doing things like this, posting on the internet, being complete jackasses on the internet. That's the beginning of the next legislation. And I'm just getting tired of constantly fighting with these idiots. So that's going to be it for the video. I hope somebody learned something good from this. If you're new to the hobby, just do your research. Research. Talk to keepers. Watch YouTube videos. There's plenty of good YouTubers out there. Find good people and learn from them. And until next time, later.